today we are analyzing a fund focused on a theme that impacts us all daily, which is consumption. So it's the Bajaj Finserv Consumption Fund, which is designed to tap into the potential growth in consumer-driven industries. So let's do an in-depth analysis of this fund to see whether it will be worth investing or not. Hi, welcome to holisticinvestment.in. We help individual investors like you to make the right financial and investment decision to reach your financial goal in a more faster and smarter way. Now, before analyzing this fund, let us first understand a few basic details about it. So as an NFO, it opens on 8th November 2024 and closes on 22nd November 2024. And some of the key features of this fund are it is an open-ended fund type which belongs to the category of equity thematic consumption, and it has Nifty India Consumption TRI as its benchmark index. And the exit load for this fund is just 1% if you choose to redeem it within 3 months. And there is no entry load in this fund, and the minimum investment you need to start investing in this fund is just 500 rupees. And the fund managers for this fund are Mr. Nimesh Chandan, Mr. Soap Gupta, and Mr. Siddharth Chaudhary. And according to the riskometer of this fund, it refers that this fund has very high risk. And according to the investment objective of this fund, the primary investment objective it is to seek to generate long-term capital appreciation by investing in equity and equity-related securities of companies that are likely to benefit directly or indirectly from the domestic consumption-led demand. As we now have a basic understanding about this fund, let's move on to analyzing the pros and cons of investing in this fund to get a better picture of whether investing in it will be suitable for us or not. So let's start with the advantages first. There are 4 main key advantages. Number 1, focus on growing consumption sector. India's consumption sector is expected to grow as disposable incomes rise and consumer demand increases. This fund provides exposure to a broad range of consumer-focused industries from retail and FMCG to automotive, making it well positioned to benefit from this trend. Number 2, diversification across consumer segments. The fund invests across various consumer-oriented sectors, which provides a level of diversification. This helps reduce the impact of any downturn in specific industries within the consumption space, balancing potential risk. Number 3, strong long-term growth potential. With increasing spending and population growth, consumer demand is expected to grow over the long term. This fund could benefit from the long-term growth potential inherent in the consumer-driven sectors, especially in the emerging markets like India. Number 4 is the expert active management. So unlike passive funds, this fund is actively managed, allowing fund managers to adapt to changing market conditions and select stocks they believe will outperform within the consumption theme. So these are all the advantages of investing in this fund. Now, if you take a look at the cons, which is the disadvantages, there are also 4 main potential drawbacks to this fund. Number 1 is the sector-specific risk. The focus on the consumption sector means the fund is highly reliant on the consumer demand, meaning consumer economic downturn, inflation, or shift in consumer preferences could negatively impact returns. So there is a degree of sector concentration risk here. Number 2 is the higher expense ratio. So active management comes with higher expense ratio than passive fund. This can reduce net return, particularly in years where consumer sectors may underperform or remain flat. Number 3, potential volatility from economic factors. Consumption can be influenced by several external factors like interest rate, inflation, and changes in consumer sentiment. Any negative economic development may increase volatility in the fund's returns. Number 4, this might not be ideal for a conservative investor. Because since this fund is focused on one sector, it may not offer the stability the conservative or low-risk investors usually seek. So the concentration in consumption makes it a better fit for aggressive investor who's willing to take a lot of risk and also willing to navigate through the different market cycles. So these are also some of the disadvantages of this fund, which also reveals the potential risk you might be undertaking while choosing to invest in this fund. So go through these factors and these reasonings carefully before deciding. So what is the final takeaway from our analysis? Is investing in the Bajaj Finserv Consumption Fund worth it or not? As you can see from the analysis that this fund offers a focused approach to India's growing consumer sector with the potential for strong growth. But with that focus comes higher risk and volatility, making it more suitable for long-term growth-oriented investors who are comfortable with a sector-specific exposure. So it depends on what kind of investor you are and what kind of risk tolerance you have, and especially what kind of time horizon you have for your investments. It comes down to these factors, and it's up to you as an investor to see whether investing in this fund will be suitable to your unique financial goals and financial situation. But our personal opinion is, if you are a first time investor or even a conservative investor, then investing in this fund could be avoided, because as I have already said, this is a thematic fund which if you are a seasoned investor, probably you might find it a little bit easier to navigate to see when this fund will be in the peak or when the trend will be rising. You need to have at least a little bit sufficient knowledge to see to investing in a thematic fund like this. But as a first time investor, completely a beginner to investing, it might not be suitable for you. And also, as it has high risk, conservative investors also can avoid investing in this fund. But if you do want to invest in a thematic fund like this, then you can invest in other existing similar thematic funds with a track record of at least 7 to 10 years, where you will know how it has performed in the highs and lows. And instead of taking a blind risk with a track record, you will be taking a calculated risk. And also, if you're looking for funds to add to your core investment portfolio to achieve your specific financial goals, then investing in this fund might not be suitable for you, because as a thematic fund already it has high risk and you do not know how it's going to perform, because it as an NFO now only it's going to be launched and it to build a track record. So without sufficient research and track record, it's better you do not take a blind risk and negatively impact the returns in your investment portfolio. So it's better if you go for funds that are already has a good track record. And also, if you do want to invest in the Bajaj Finserv consumption fund just to see how it will perform and you have spare money, then you can invest it through your satellite portfolio on a trial basis, like for an experimental basis, just to see how it will perform in the long run. And if you see that it is performing well, then slowly over the years you can increase the investment amount according to what you need. And also, if you do not know when to enter and exit from a thematic fund like this, even if you're a seasoned investor, it's better you avoid investing in this fund, because invest in a thematic fund, you need to know when to exactly enter and when to exit to have at least gain a good significant gain from this fund. But if you do not have that kind of knowledge, and it's harder to predict even if you're a fund manager, it's better if you choose not to invest in it, because it's kind of risky unless until you're completely sure that you can take the risk and you know how to navigate and you know when to enter and exit from a thematic fund like this. It's better to stay away from investing in this fund, because it might not be suitable for you. And finally, if you feel like you do not have the sufficient knowledge or the time to research about any fund, whether to see investing in it will be suitable to you or not, it's better you consult with a certified financial planner for a more professional guidance, who will look at the suitability of the fund's investment objective, risk profile, overlap ratio, and allocation to see whether it will be suitable for you in the long run or not. Investing through professional guidance will make your investment journey more simplified and hassle-free for you in the long term. And if you want to gain more professional guidance through a professional financial planner, you can choose to book a one-on-one complimentary consultation with one of our professional financial planner through the link in the description. Also, if you want to gain more investment and financial insights through the leading experts in the finance industry, we also conduct regularly free live webinars through which you can register and gain these insights. The link is in the description. Also, if you like this video, definitely hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can come up with more such financially beneficial content for you. Thank you for watching.